Thank you for tuning in to the Afternoon Pint Podcast. Our show will start right after these messages from our sponsors.
Hey, Matt. We're thinking of selling our home and finding a bigger place.
Oh, really? I thought you guys loved where you lived.
Oh, we do. Our family is just growing. With pets. A dog, a cat, 2 guinea pigs, a hamster.
And you're planning on getting more?
Maybe a goat or a crocodile.
Well, I have the person for you. Kimmy Najad is an experienced real estate agent who prides herself in finding the perfect home for her clients.
We're just browsing now. I'm not sure if we really need a realtor yet.
Yeah, no worries. Kimmy can help you with the comparative market analysis to help you determine the value of your home if you're planning on selling, or help you determine the going rate for the neighborhood you're moving into. She can also work at your pace.
Awesome. All right, I'll give her a shot. What's her phone number?
On Facebook, Kimmy Najad, Exit Realty Metro. Her phone number is 902-880-8429, and her email is kimia@exitmetro.ca.
902-880-8429. Awesome. Thanks.
This podcast was brought to you by Dan Lomas. That's LOMAS of lomasfinancial.ca.
Are you a small business owner who wants to keep more of your hard-earned profits and pay less taxes to the CRA? Do you want to plan for a comfortable and secure retirement? If your answer is yes, then you need to talk to Dan Lomas at Lomas Financial.
Dan Lomas is a financial advisor who has been helping successful entrepreneurs and business owners for over 2.5 decades. He utilizes customized solutions that can help you keep your earnings, dramatically reducing passive income tax.
Dan Lomas and his team will help you transition corporate wealth into personal wealth by utilizing customized executive pension plans. Dan will show you how to convert business wealth into personal wealth in a professional manner.
Don't let the CRA take more money than they deserve. Don't let your retirement dreams fade away. Contact Dan Lomas today and let him guide you on your path to financial success.
Visit Dan Lomas at lomasfinancial.ca or call him direct at 902-209-0855. That's 902-209-0855.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Welcome to the Afternoon Pint. I'm Mike Tobin.
I am Matt Conrad.
And who do we have with us today?
I got us a CFL champ.
What?
Well, yeah, why don't you introduce yourself?
Tyson Philpot here, and I appreciate you guys for having me on the show.
So, yeah.
Cool.
So Tyson is...
it's the first time I've been cheersed with Gatorade, man.
So Tyson's in season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's cheersing us with Gatorade. I'm having the Propeller Galaxy IPA. Do you get the same?
Oh, no. Taste your beer again.
I was thought it was like a little fruity. Is this the freaking Stone one or whatever?
No, it's not the Stone one.
What is it?
It's the Azaka.
Oh, okay.
Azaka.
Okay. So
Yeah, they were out of Galaxy.
Oh, there you go. I thought it was tasting a little light and a little different.
But
I
you're
was like,
close.
whatever.
That's why. There you go. All right.
Propeller either way. There you go.
Yeah.
What do you got? It's the same?
Yeah,
Azaka?
same.
Okay,
It's the same
cool.
one. Yeah.
Well, there you go. All right.
And what do you have in there? Your grandfather.
Yeah. What do we get?
Oh, yeah. So this is one of the Propeller,
Near beers.
non-alcohol lagers. Enjoy. Yeah.
Saying it's way more popular these days.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It's definitely growing. Yeah.
I've heard of those.
Yeah.
It's really it's great actually. I like to see that there's some diversity in terms of being able to include craft beer with non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
It's good. It is good. Yeah.
No, I've been making my second beers often enough, a craft beer, even at home, like now, because we have a hot tub out back. So after the first beer, sometimes if you have 2 or 3 beer in the hot tub, they seem to have a really bad effect.
Yeah, I've been
So you got
there.
to be careful with the hot beers and hot tubs. So after the first hot tub beer, I'll usually switch to a hot beer.
To a near beer.
Yeah.
You got me drinking one of those the other day, too. I didn't
Oh,
even
yeah?
know.
Nice.
You don't
Yeah.
know. It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. It's way better than it was before. So anyway, so back to football.
Sorry,
So,
football. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's let's actually get back to your kind of story. You have a twin brother.
I do.
Yeah, and you guys were both drafted top 10,
Yep.
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know any other brothers that have been drafted in the first round, not in the CFL.
First round and top 10, not
Yeah.
just first round. Top 10. That's pretty good. You were 9.
Yeah, I was 9.
Your brother was 2?
5.
5,
Yeah.
okay,
So
yeah.
I got a chip on my shoulder for sure.
Yeah, but you got the ring.
Yeah, I definitely have a little edge on him now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Worked in my favor for sure.
Definitely, yeah. And you know what's really cool about this is like Montreal. I mean, I don't know if you agree with this statement, but Montreal last year with them winning, I kind of felt that it was a bit of a Cinderella story.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Toronto was a juggernaut
Yep.
all year.
Yep.
And no one, honestly, I watched them. I covered the Touchdown Atlantic last year
Yep.
when they were here, and watching them play, being on the field and everything with them, I was like, oof, who is going to beat
Yeah,
this
they
team?
were dominant.
Yeah, right? I mean, they have some other issues now kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's looking like a little different this year, but you guys made it to the show, and you probably don't know this because Tobin's not much of a football guy, but like this guy scored the game-winning touchdown.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I don't know
Yeah.
anything. That's amazing,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Sick.
Some of my dreams for sure.
That's huge.
That's
Seriously.
something as a young kid you definitely.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, 24 in
Congratulations.
10 days.
That's really amazing.
Oh,
What an
happy
accomplishment.
birthday.
Thank
It'll be-
you.
By the time
Yeah.
this airs, it will be your birthday,
yeah.
so there you go.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's incredible. I mean, it was a nice catch and everything. It was great play. Like honestly,
Yeah.
it was.
It was exactly how we drew it up. We have Anthony Calvillo, obviously
Yep.
CFL Hall of Famer, and
Absolutely.
all week he talked about just coming down to the last play, and especially in those big championship games, like you want to be that guy to win it all or to put the team on your back. And there was something he just talked about. It's a little more receiver talk, but attacking leverage as a receiver and
Yep.
just ensuring yourself to be open and ensuring yourself to make that play. And I saw 10 seconds left and how close we were to the end zone. So I was like, why not me? Why not?
Like, that's Hollywood movie stuff though.
Oh, for
10 seconds left on the
Yeah.
clock. Like this is it, the final play.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like honestly, you could stop playing tomorrow, and honestly, I think you would be like you've achieved a lot of things that I would have liked to have achieved in my short football kind of career.
I've heard that from a couple of people. You could retire and maybe get in the Hall of Fame. And I was like, oh, we're not done yet. But
No.
Keep going, man.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Well, and you have a lot of accomplishments. Like, really, like you went to university.
Yep.
You got rookie of the year there, which and you won a championship
National
there too.
championship too,
National
yeah.
championship there
Yeah.
too. So I mean, there's a theme going on here.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year,
Rookie of the
championship.
year, well, then you got rookie of the year in the East for
Yeah.
CFL, win a championship. And of course, I mean, how can you not get the MVP of the Grey Cup when you scored?
Yeah, that was pretty.
when you won the thing.
That was pretty special for sure.
So is it MVP Grey Cup?
So it's I was most valuable Canadian.
Yeah,
and then Cody, our quarterback, was the most valuable player.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have a Canadian. They
Most valuable
carve
Can-
out Canadian,
Yep.
do they?
It's the CFL, they gotta count for your
gotta have that
Canadian.
nut.
You know what though? It's
I'd
a really
rather
cool
have Canadian
story,
than
though.
player.
Oh,
if I
for
was
sure.
in Canada.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's a
there you
really
go.
cool story. For anyone who doesn't know about the most valuable Canadian, it's a really cool award because it was first awarded back in the early 70s. And it was awarded to somebody, and because they wanted to endorse, have a Canadian to always kind of be highlighted. And the guy who won it originally, Soderbergh or Soder, I can't remember his name.
This is a new story for me too.
So there you go. So I can't. I'm gapping on his name right now, but he won the award, the inaugural award, and literally the next season passed away mid-season.
Oh, wow.
And they named the trophy after him.
Oh, that's
Okay.
really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is a pretty cool honor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, there's been a couple guys that have won both actually. So that's
Yes.
that's next on the
Next on the
That's
list.
next on the list.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
So for you, I mean, obviously you and your brother have grown up probably playing on the same teams
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yep.
What's it like, now having to play against them?
It's different. We actually played our first game against each other 2 weeks ago. First time in our whole career ever.
Oh, so you guys didn't get to play last season against
No,
them?
there
was an injury.
Yeah, he's been hurt he missed the whole season last year, and then our first game ever in the CFL, he was hurt too. So it's just he's been battling with some injuries, and Montreal was the only team he had never played against. So it was really special to kind of line it up, and obviously the storylines and all that kind of stuff. How would it feel? But
Where's your brother at right now?
he's back in Calgary.
Okay,
Yeah, they play this, or they just played a couple of nights ago, and
Right
then
on.
they'll play this week. So,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but he's 100% healthy now, and he's getting back into it. So I was excited to see. But yeah, first time ever playing against each other, and definitely grew up competing 24/7. So kind of be able to cheer for him was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. You can cheer for him, as long as you're not playing.
Yeah. Oh
type
yeah.
of thing,
Just
right?
him. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right. If when this all is said and done, I mean, the Kelsey brothers they've made a little thing of podcasting. You guys
I
could
like
be the
that,
Canadian
yeah.
version of the Kelsey brothers, right?
We've talked about it for sure. Doing something in the sports media world.
Yeah, why not? Right,
Yeah.
and you guys can do it off season and stuff like that. It'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool, right? So I don't know, but what was like the biggest thing about what was the hardest thing from going to college to pro? Like, what was the thing that was the hardest in your mind?
Yeah, honestly, with just the professionalism, obviously in college, not everybody's there to play football after the fact. So I would say just, showing up to work every day and, being there at 6 a.m. Like you can show up at 9 o'clock if you want, but, the guys that are putting in the work show up at 6 a.m. and that work starts before practice and then staying in the facility late after 2. So just the business side and you're a job, you're playing with guys that are 28 years old, 29 years old with families, and that's how they support themselves. So I'm just this 21-year-old kid, still laughing and enjoying myself, and think it's for fun and it's like just joking around and stuff, but it has to be serious sometimes too. So I think that was kind of the biggest change when I first got there, because college was just fun, easy.
Yeah.
Run whatever you want to do and get open.
And the talents, obviously. They level up, right?
In terms of pay, so you're getting paid now, right?
Yeah, he's pro.
And can you make a living off this?
Yeah, they're with our new CBA, the minimum wage has gone up. I think it's about $75,000 now is the minimum, and luckily I got an extension after last year's Grey Cup, so we're making some more money than that. But I definitely think as long as you're saving your money, my grandpa over here teaches me how to save some money and
right on.
put it away for the long term. But yeah, you definitely have to be smart with it. But I definitely think for Canadians out there and stuff, you could definitely make a living off it, and it's fun. It's work from 9 to 2 o'clock, and then you get to enjoy the rest of your day. There's lots of stuff you can do on top of it to generate money if you want to, or just in any way.
No, amazing. That's amazing that you can make a career out of it playing in the CFL, because it wasn't always that way.
No, definitely not. I remember my dad was playing. He was telling me the minimum was like $40,000, and that's tough. It's only
so they're treating players a lot better these days?
Definitely, yeah. Cool. And they're trying to learn from the States, and because we have a lot of Americans that come up from those big Power 5 schools, and when they come up and they see a metal hot tub or a metal tin cold tub, they're kind of thrown off a little bit. So they're trying to make it more and more like the NFL, and just have good facilities.
Yeah, and that's I guess that's some of the other thing too. Is there are a lot of Americans coming up, but I believe there's a minimum. Like you can only have to have a certain amount of Canadians.
Yeah,
on
I think
the team.
it's 21 starters on the active roster. I believe 21 out of 45, something like that. So it's a good split.
Yeah,
but you got to have the good Canadians though, because you don't want to waste a spot with a not so good Canadian.
Well, that's some of the biggest thing when it comes NFL versus CFL and things like that. I mean, you have the Chase Claypools and things like that have made it down to the NFL. Where he would generally be pretty big standout in the CFL.
Oh, for sure.
But he's having a hard time.
Yeah, and I know Chase too. Just growing up in Surrey, BC, he was from Chilliwack, and we trained together and stuff too. And it's just, obviously I've never been in the NFL, so I can't speak on anything like that. But it's just, I think it's the entourage, just how big of a name you are. You have such a big standard, and you're held to such a high your accountability is just huge. So I think it's the off-field stuff is kind of what can be a distraction.
Now, you say that you haven't been in the NFL, but have you had any chats? Have you gotten? Because I've heard some rumors that you could be an NFL caliber.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Yeah. I had a workout after my first year with the Steelers, and it was really cool. I was a big eye opener. Being a 21-year-old walking in there and seeing Mike Tomlin and Cam Hayward at the same lunch table as you, and you're just you're in awe. And kind of got snap in and be like, I'm here to be on that team too. So, definitely after this year, I've talked to my agent, I'm doing everything right so far, and we're definitely confident that we can get some workouts, and that's kind of the extent of it. I guess you get a workout and then you can get signed to a futures deal, it's called. Right. So you pretty much are signed for training camp, and then you go there and try and make the team. But definitely that's the goal, to try and get down there and get as many workouts as I can.
Well, that's just it. Obviously the CFL is great. I would never kind of, put it down or anything like that. But as a football guy myself, I think they could change some rules. I'm not. I like 4 downs.
Yeah, I agree.
I like 4 downs.
I agree to that.
But I just think it takes. There's a whole lot more to the game.
The football size is different too, right?
Football's bigger.
Yep. A little bit different, and it's got the white stripes, which I prefer. Tracking it as a receiver, it's a lot easier with the white stripes versus the NFL ball. It's just the pigskin, and I guess the material too is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But as a receiver, I think we prefer the CFL ball. But the 4 downs, that's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
just as like a pro, like, how does it feel, I guess, in the difference of like being able to get that running head start versus like, dead stop go?
Huge advantage. I feel bad for DBs, especially with how wide the field is too.
Well, that was my next thing. Yeah. The field's longer and wider, right?
Yeah, it's a DB's nightmare when you have someone like me that's pretty fast running at you full speed and he's just about to run straight by you, and you got to try and show that you're not going to play man, but also get depth for it. So
it's definitely like a unique, like, not to, like, they always say that the DBs are the most athletic guys in the league or whatever in football, right? But that being said, though, like the wide receivers in Canada they're fast, right? It's a throwing game. Like people, you can run, but like honestly, having to get 10 yards and only having 2 downs to do it. Yeah.
You're running the ball on first down, and if you're not gaining at least 5 yards, like you're going to become a passing team for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't work very well, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's really unfortunate because running backs already have a bad rap in football now, right? They're not getting paid to what they used to be. They're not being quite as valued. It's like you get that rookie contract, and basically once you're a rookie anymore,
it's the next guy.
Right. We'll see. It's like we can take a chance on you.
Yeah.
And pay you, whatever, $10 million, and your knee could blow out the next year. Or we can get this next rookie and pay him $800,000.
And he's fresh. He's ready to go. Right. Yeah, he's not going to ask no questions.
Yeah. He'll take whatever comes his way.
Yeah.
So running backs are tough. So then in the CFL, it's even tough.
It's a dead league, unfortunately, for that. But there's some, like, we got a new little running back this year who's finally getting his chance to be the starter, and his best thing is he's a receiver too, and we can use him as a 6th receiver, and that's what our coach loves about him. He can just be so dynamic and throw him out of the backfield, and have a linebacker have to cover him one-on-one. Usually doesn't end too well.
Listen, Patriots won a lot of championships thrown to their running backs.
Oh yeah, they did.
Right?
Yep, that's Tom's money.
Yeah, exactly. You can make a lot of money doing that, quite honestly. So there's there's no shame in that. And even still, you look at a guy like McCaffrey.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The guy can do it all.
He's a prime example of it, and that's why he gets paid, because he can do it all and get open on corners.
That's the thing. Like he actually, like he's ran in a touchdown, he's received a touchdown, and he's tossed a touchdown all in one game.
He's a dynamic guy.
That kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool. So it's like things like that. But so for you, what does your off season look like? Obviously, you gotta do you let loose?
Yeah.
Or are you one of those guys that's like, I'm always strict?
No, I'm definitely not that kind of guy. Off season calls for off season. A lot of guys say that too. Like, take your time to relax. We play football constant for 6 months straight, so let your mind relax. That's why I'm here in Halifax right now. So I can
that's pretty cool.
Kind of get away from it, put my toes in some sand. But that's usually how my off season starts. Hopefully it ends with a winning championship.
Right. You want to play as long as you can.
Exactly, and then put my feet in some sand, enjoying a nice vacation, usually for about a month and a half, you usually get. And then the work usually starts around there. But it's big on just, at the start of my off season, I used to be a big like weightlifter or like big track guy, but I've found I've been injured a little bit. So I've kind of had to revert to just like running routes and just kind of doing like what you do every day at practice versus trying to turn into a track athlete or a bodybuilder in that kind of sense.
Yeah, it's funny. Like some of there's the odd guy that can do it, like Metcalf, who's like gigantic. He's a bodybuilder, and at the same time is a freak athlete who can run down. But it seems most of the time like you need to just be like flexible. Fast and flexible.
That is the key, flexibility. I'm a big yoga guy. Now that you say that, in the off season, that's me and my girlfriend like to get some hot yoga in at night. But that's something that me and my strength coach have worked on a lot, because I'm a guy because I'm so fast that I am a tight hips, tight hamstrings, and that kind of way. Right. So just making sure I'm flexible, I could touch my toes, do all that kind of stuff, and warm up properly is a big key. A lot of guys like to get on the field and just go, and unfortunately, it doesn't end well sometimes when you do that.
Yeah, you're tearing whole things.
And so when your mind's not in the game, what else do you enjoy?
I'm a big video game guy, actually.
That's a thing.
Huge video game guy. A lot of guys in the locker room, we're always making side bets or playing online and doing that kind of stuff.
What games?
football, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But not just football. You know, I've been actually, someone put me on the PGA. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
I used to. Years
you?
ago,
Yeah.
I played that like crazy.
Yeah, and so that's
Years ago.
that's
Yep.
what I've recently been on huge.
Yep.
And,
Okay.
And that's when I could play like with my girlfriend, where I'm not gonna beat her really bad. But she gets a little more involved in that one. But yeah, video games. I like to travel.
PGA, is that the EA one or is
Yeah,
that the
EA.
2K?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. I haven't tried that new one yet.
No, yeah. So that's the one. It's the Masters
I
edition.
bought the Tiger Woods comeback one.
Okay,
and
yeah,
was
I remember that one.
because
Yeah.
it looked like looked like the same game it was 20 years ago. It was
And-
like,
oh, it wasn't
the
very
graphics
good?
weren't. I didn't feel like it was as good as it could
as
have
it
been.
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give you props. Or
He's
I
the video game guy.
Really?
I like
Okay,
video
so
games, too.
okay,
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
could get
yeah.
that. Are you? What's your console?
I got an Xbox Series X.
Okay, yeah. I'm a PlayStation guy, but I respect the Xbox. Now that you can do.
I got the nerdy one. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can do the crossplay now, so that
that's right.
that kind of works.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, you can play again. Like you can never
Consoles,
do that
yeah.
until like the new console.
Oh, wow.
generation.
Okay.
yeah.
You
So
play-
now it doesn't matter what you.
I don't
on.
play online. I've never played online.
Online? Oh.
I've only played like a few video games online in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm a big online guy. It's all my friends that are back home in the States and stuff like
Nice.
that. I can get on and play. I'm in a couple of dynasties too, where you have to play like every couple of days, like a real league. So
Okay.
it's pretty intense.
You create a character, make yourself.
Oh,
type
yeah.
of thing.
That's-
Do you find, and I'm just curious about this because you would know, you know the game,
Yeah.
right? You know the real game,
Yeah.
and you know the video games.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that one helps you with
sure.
the other? Like,
For sure.
It must
Yeah.
today because
It
they're
does.
so complexly detailed.
I feel like the video game like mentally helps you when you go onto the field. Like looking at a playbook,
Right.
Is
That's
you
the thing.
look at the play art and you're like, oh, I've seen this before. This is Madden. Like
Some professionals do they do that because
Yeah.
it's I mean obviously you still need to be physically be able to do those things.
Yeah.
But like you can learn plays, you can learn playbooks, and just like you can actually see it in real time. Because in the end, whether you're doing X and O's up on a bulletin board or whatever, or this, it's obviously way better to see it
to see it. Yeah.
like that played out.
Yeah,
right?
you can read coverages better, just
Right.
be able to see how linebackers shift and corners shift based on the coverage. So yeah, I think I would owe some of my football expertise to Madden, being able to play it for so long. Yeah, as a kid, for sure.
Any Fortnite?
I actually was when it was big, when
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like the crave. I haven't played in a while. I know it's still a huge
Seems
franchise.
still huge,
yeah. I see a lot of guys still playing. Some guys on my team, but
Yeah.
I'm not big on the shooting ones anymore.
Okay.
I was Call of Duty a little bit when I was in high school and stuff, but it's mostly sports now, I would say.
Awesome.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
That's awesome.
So you said before too, because your dad played
Yep.
pro. Yeah.
Yep.
So like obviously this is a thing that you grew up with. Did you always thought like I'm gonna play pro football?
Hockey was actually a big, love of mine. I was never the ice. I could skate, but I was more ball hockey in Vancouver. That was a big crave. And then obviously coming here and watching.
So where'd you grow up, sorry?
I grew up in Surrey, British Columbia. But yeah, hockey obviously big in Canada in general.
And what's your connection to Halifax besides your grandparents? Have you guys always lived out here this way? Or
Yeah, mom, my sister, they're all born out here.
Okay.
And so we used to always get shipped off for summer.
Nice.
And, give mom some space, go out to Halifax and bother Papa for 2 months.
Okay.
And then we always enjoyed it. I love to be on the water and be on the boats and stuff. So
Oh yeah, it must be like a little dream coming out
Yeah.
of Nova Scotia,
Oh, and then-
not have to live here. It's
Yeah,
terrible to
just-
live here. No, just joking.
Usually after the 2 months, I was ready to go back to the big city, but I definitely like the outdoorsy feel.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that's good.
awesome.
Yeah, terrible. You're terrible. No, it's true though. I have seen oftentimes I've seen you going out there, and I've been watching a little bit of your obviously through Vince.
Yeah.
He's sharing. He's obviously a very proud grandfather,
Yeah.
both of you and your brother, and so I've been watching the highlights and him showing it. So I kind of feel like I've been watching your career for like 6 years at this point, and so I was really excited to see you guys get drafted, and especially in the top 10, top 9 or whatever, right?
Yeah, I was so happy to come to the East Coast, especially. My dad had told me how much fun he had playing in Montreal, the party life too, and
That's true,
and the
yeah.
football life.
Yeah.
And I seen both, of course.
Just be careful. You can get in a lot of trouble in Montreal.
Yep, that's the first thing they told us was, just so you know, you can do anything every day in Montreal, so
Yes.
stay out of the streets.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're on bye week or you've taken care of business, then you're okay, but practice is practice.
I would imagine if you play for like the Raiders, they must be like on crazy because they play in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
they must be like on high alert at all times.
It's
Right?
highly disciplined. Yeah,
And it's the Raiders, so
And-
they're already undisciplined.
Exactly. Yeah, I have a friend that plays for the Dolphins in Miami, and he says it's the same thing. It's
Oh, I bet
they
too.
they get told all the time, I mean, they're so big though. Like they're getting noticed anywhere they go, so they have to be more conspicuous. But Miami, I know they're on them.
Yeah, you can party. Obviously, Miami's definitely known for that. And
Big
stuff
party,
like that.
yeah.
It's just Vegas just seems like it has this thing that's just calling
that aura.
people.
Yeah.
It's calling people to do everything
Yeah.
and all this stuff and everything, right?
I
So
mean, they
it's
have a
like,
casino in their stadium now. So,
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That seems.
absurd.
I don't
that's
like that.
absurd.
Does it? I don't know.
You know what? It is quite weird. I will say that like how sports has got in bed with
Betting,
gambling,
Yeah.
and yet athletes can't gamble.
Yeah.
It's a weird I find they're being really contradictory there, right?
They are.
It is contradictory.
I get what they talk about with the integrity of the sport.
I agree with it.
Yeah.
But like, so if you know who Sean Lemon is, he's someone on my team who's actually dealing with this right now, and he can't play for us, unfortunately, right now because he's dealing with something. But yeah, he's in trouble for betting on himself, like for his team to win.
Right.
And that's all he did. It was
Now, that should be the only exception
Exactly,
to the rule.
and
You should
that's-
always be allowed
for
to bet on
sure.
yourself. I mean, anybody else, not like.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
actually understand
Shaving
the
points.
conflict.
Yeah.
but the bet on yourself to win, as long as you're not betting to lose.
Yeah, exactly. That, and
Throwing
that's
a game.
and that's exactly how we feel too. We have got big Bet 99 stickers on our chest, and
Exactly. Yeah.
before you watch the game, you see who's the biggest bet to score every game and stuff like that. So it's almost
The fantasy football's
Yeah.
huge, like statistics, like you're right, the Bet 99
Yeah.
and 360s and all this other stuff, and it's it seems a little wrong. We had a guy on our show before, Jake Sanford.
Okay.
He's from here. He's the Nova Scotian who is the highest drafted in the Major League Baseball, and he drafted
wow.
by the Yankees.
Oh wow, that is
Lost it all to gambling.
No way.
Yeah.
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 He got in trouble with that.
He got in trouble with gambling.
They can
Got,
catch you,
got a
right?
bit of
Oh,
a
for sure
problem.
they can.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I don't think people realize like the average. I don't understand.
But
it,
also,
don't
like,
understand
you
it.
know, his situation, I mean, and I'll just retell it real quick.
Yeah.
Like, he was given a lot of money at a very young age.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
And yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fame.
Yeah.
And if I was
lot of
given that
money.
kind of money
Yeah.
at the age of 20,
Yeah. And it's
probably would have done something equally ridiculous.
and it's so easy,
right?
It's on
I
your
mean,
little
you know,
phone.
it's hard to be financially responsible
Yeah.
until you really, you know,
Yeah.
start having responsibilities. You start having children, or you start having, you know, slow
That's the
life
thing,
starts
right?
kind of saying, "Oh, geez, I got to keep living and I got to keep going."
Save this money.
I know when I was 20 years old, and I
20
met this
years
guy, we spent all of our money on booze, like going out 4 nights a week,
Yeah.
right?
Hey.
Hell yeah!
And then all of a sudden, someone says, like, here you go, like, you know, going down there, and it's like, here's $1 million.
Yeah.
And you think that's unlimited money.
Yeah.
Right.
And you realize real quickly it's not.
not, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things.
So it's
but
smart to listen to your grandpa and save and just kind of hold on to something.
It is.
Hold on
It's-
as much as you
yeah.
can because you don't know you never know what's going to happen on
Yeah.
the road ahead.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
true.
You know.
Yeah, they call the NFL not for long. That's what they always say. It for
Seriously,
us.
well,
Yeah.
and the average like lifespan, like your lifespan, but
What's
like
it- what is
career
that?
span, it's 4.5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, really?
And I think it's even gone down since then.
It may have even
Yeah.
gone down since then because there's a lot of it's really disposable league. If
Yeah.
you're not,
Oh, yeah.
If you can't stay a long time and show and be healthy consistently, it's a very disposable league,
Yeah.
right?
And it's one of the only sports that's still not like fully guaranteed unless you have
That's
that in
true,
your
too.
contract. But like it's not like baseball or
I'd
any
love
of
to
those
ask.
sports.
We talked about football this whole time. Like, so say if tomorrow you couldn't play,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
I really don't. I hope really have an awesome career. What would you do? What would be like?
that's a good question.
What would be like something else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I've done a little bit in acting and
Okay,
in the
cool.
movie business,
Yeah,
and that was
okay.
especially over COVID when we weren't playing,
Right.
and that was something that I really enjoyed. Kind of still the team
What did you
atmosphere.
do in the acting business?
I was doing some stunt stuff, so it was actually I was a football player. Which,
So you're still throwing yourself around.
Yeah, oh yeah, I still and there's a lot of ex-football guys actually that I ran into in the business.
Okay.
But yeah, just I wouldn't do the football stuff if we were doing outside of football, but at
Sure.
at that time I was
Yeah.
in the Superman show.
You like
Oh,
adrenaline.
were you? Okay.
Yeah.
You like adrenaline.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
love it. I
I
love
get
being
it.
high pressure situation.
Yeah.
That's where I make
Montreal's
my
a
money.
good spot to be able to get involved in some
Yeah,
of that stuff.
and
on
then
the side
Vancouver as well. It was,
Vancouver would be huge,
It's
too,
huge in
of
the
course.
movie business
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was awesome.
That's amazing.
Still team like, and I was doing football and getting paid really well for it. So
Yeah.
and it was not like 1/10 of what I actually do. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, oh, that's the other thing too. Yeah, it's like you're
it's just
long days, but it's
Yeah.
a lot of standing around
yeah,
type
yeah,
of thing, right?
yeah,
So yeah.
easy.
Okay.
So probably
that's
that.
interesting.
Yeah, I would say that. I've also
Cool. Well, you should definitely do both for now.
can do
right?
both.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the cool thing about your job right now
Yeah.
is like a lot of those contracts you can just take when you're not.
And
you're
if
not
you and your
working.
brother want to do a podcast, we'll
help you out, yeah.
Oh yeah,
we'll produce it.
Okay, yeah,
We'll produce it.
we've definitely talked
you go.
about it. I watch the Kelseys all the time, so I think
Yeah,
that's
they
really
do
yeah.
it really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
the gridiron or whatever it's called.
Yeah, whatever.
amazing.
New
New Heights, yeah.
New Heights, that's what it is. Yeah,
that's exactly.
But they're pretty funny.
Yeah, they are.
So I mean, it helps the fact that, like, you know, I would say Travis obviously is top 5, one of the best tight ends,
For sure.
and then Jason, one of the
Arguably,
greatest centers
ever.
ever to play the game.
Easily.
Sure.
And it hurts me so badly because I hate the Eagles so
really?
much.
Who is your team?
Patriots.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what though? Everyone thinks it's because the Patriots like lost to the Eagles.
Yeah.
No, I've hated them way before that.
Okay.
It's because Philly fans are
Yeah,
awful.
they are horrible.
They're the worst
Yeah.
in all of
Yeah.
sports.
And I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to every offseason I've been to 2 New York games in my history with Montreal, but I think Philadelphia is the next stop. But I think I have to go cheer for Philly if I'm going to be in those stands because I'm kind of scared. I've seen some videos.
No, okay, I will give you that one. That's true. I'd be terrified.
If you're in Philly, yeah. Depends on who's playing, I guess. But yeah, I think I'll cheer for the.
So your team growing up NFL was
It's New Orleans. Yeah,
New Orleans?
Yeah, New Orleans. And everyone asked me why. Like, that's so weird. But I don't know. I think Reggie Bush, it was.
Yeah, I can see
that. That was my first jersey, and it kind of stuck with me. And then I was able to watch their first championship ever.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Yeah, I've always been close. We've been in some down years recently, but hopefully we can pick it up.
Yeah, well, I mean, in that division, anyone can pick it up at any time.
For sure. It's anybody's game. Yeah.
So the at this point, like we're kind of mid-season at this point.
Yeah.
How do you think things are going so far? What do you like? Obviously you're hoping to win it and take it all and repeat and everything.
Definitely.
But how do you think things are going? What's going well with the team? What do you think that you have areas to like really kind of work on?
Yeah. Well, we're coming off of our first loss, which obviously,
huge.
Yeah, was not fun, but it's a part of the game. Had to happen at some point. So I kind of like it because of the weight of being undefeated and the streak talk. Yeah. It's you hear it every week, and it's how are you going to stay undefeated? How are you going to continue this win streak? And we're just taking it one game at a time. Not trying to look too far ahead. But I'm really liking the way our team is. A lot of carryover from last year. We kept the same core unit of guys. Obviously lost a couple guys to the NFL and some guys that just tested free agency. But our team is just such a close locker room. And, anytime we've been in, like Calgary 2 weeks ago, I think we were down 20 and we were able to come back and win it at the end. So we've just shown that we can just find a way to win no matter what. So that's been a big thing with our team. And we're a defensive team at the end of the day. We run through our defense. So they're playing lights out like always. Did have a couple injuries in that last game that we lost. So it's going to be big. Our quarterback, he went down with the injury. So hopefully it's not too much. I haven't heard too much about it, but
at least you have a bye week
he can get healthy.
He has some healthy, longer time.
Shuffle some stuff around, see how it's going to go. But right now, I think we're 3-1 against East teams, so I mean that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing. Win against your own
against
conference,
division, conference, whatever. Yeah.
So I really think we're going to make a nice long run, and hopefully the home playoff game is one of the biggest things.
So before you let you go, obviously I'm going to guess that the highest note of your career so far is obviously winning the Grey Cup.
Definitely.
Cheers to that one more time. Woo!
Hey, yes, sir.
But beyond that, what would you say? Like, what do you think is like? What was the game that was just like, yes, like that right there, like outside of that one?
I might even throw it back to my first game ever.
Yeah.
In the CFL, we were traveling to Calgary, which is kind of ironic to me because Jalen, my brother, was supposed to play, but he was on that team, and it was where I played college.
Yeah.
So kind of the nerves kind of were able to settle because that was my home field in college, and ironically enough, the returner I wasn't a receiver yet, but I was a returner. He got hurt the first play. Yeah. So they're like, all right, Philpot, you're in. First game, first play. I'm in now. I got family in front, and I was able to just relax the nerves because of being at home, and I did pretty well too. Had a couple returns for some good yards, and I remember the coaches coming up to me after, and they're like you belong in this league. Like you don't look like
that must feel awesome.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, like I'm 20 years old, and this is how we're gonna start.
It's a pretty cool story to go from like returner, getting injured, saying like here's your chance to at the end of this last season, champion. And basically MVP in terms of scoring the winning touchdown. And, honestly, I wish you a great career. I hope you guys 100%. Can repeat this year.
Thank you.
And I'd love to see you in the NFL sometime.
Yeah, hey, I would love to do that. And maybe we'll do it to the Patriots too.
Okay. I'd like to see you play on the Patriots. Maybe win us another Super Bowl.
Okay, we could do it. We need a quarterback over there, and I'm head over heels to go there.
Fair enough. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers, thank you
Nice
guys.
meeting you, dude.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers.